Rogers TV.
Hello and welcome to Rogers TV Community News. I'm Carla Fitzsimmons. We begin our coverage with a powerful demonstration of solidarity. The streets in Kitchener's Gocko block filled with those calling for an end to gender-based violence. Take Back the Night is a global movement held to protest sexual and gender-based violence.
Gender-based violence and sexual violence is still an epidemic. It's still happening to folks. So we're here to raise awareness. We're here to rally together. We're here to talk to survivors and hear from them and hear their stories. And we're here to connect with community. And then we'll be marching throughout downtown Kitchener. We've been doing this as long as we've been in organization. So this, I think, is our 42nd year. So just a couple of years ago, we had our 40th anniversary. I've been at SASC for 3 years now, and we've definitely seen the community grow as we've been doing this event. So last year, I think we had close to 400 people come out. The wonderful thing about Take Back the Night is it's a little bit of everything. We're hearing stories from survivors, so they can be quite emotional, quite touching, and so we're getting that side of things. We're hearing directly from survivors, but then we're also rallying together as a community. We're marching through the streets, we're screaming and yelling, and so there's a lot of energy and a lot of community building happening. So that's what I really love about Take Back the Night, is that we're getting a little bit of everything.
61 human cases of West Nile virus have been confirmed across the province as of September 17th. Of that number, 2 people within our viewing area, including one person in Brant and the other from Huron-Perth County, have tested positive. Health officials say August and September are peak months for West Nile virus activity in mosquitoes. While the risk of serious illness in humans remains low, cases are most likely to occur during this time. Officials also say people should take the following steps to protect themselves when outdoors. From early evening to morning, that's when mosquitoes are most active and likely to bite, as well as at any time in shady wooded areas. Cover up, wear light-colored, long-sleeve shirts and pants with tightly woven fabrics. Reduce mosquito breeding sites around your home by getting rid of all water-filled containers and objects. Change the water in bird baths at least once a week and use approved insect repellent, such as one containing DEET. The Brantford Police Service is issuing a public warning after an increase in reports of suspicious phone calls that appear to be part of a fraudulent scheme. The service has received more than 100 calls from concerned citizens who report receiving multiple missed calls that appear to originate from Brantford Police Service's non-emergency number. In some cases, call display information falsely show the name Brantford Police Service. Some individuals report speaking to someone who identified themselves as a detective with the Brantford Police Service. The caller falsely claims that the individual is a suspect in a fraud investigation. Police say this appears to be an instance of caller ID spoofing, a tactic commonly used in scams to mislead individuals and to gain their trust. The service has issued an important reminder to the public. All outgoing calls from Brantford Police Service will display no caller ID. The Brantford Police Service will never demand personal or financial information over the phone. If you are unsure about the identity of the caller claiming to be a police officer, the service advises you to hang up immediately and to call their non-emergency dispatch to verify. Communications staff can confirm if the officer's name is legitimate and will connect you directly to that officer. Fire departments across the province, in partnership with the Ontario Fire Marshal, are encouraging residents to participate in Test Your Smoke Alarm Day on September 28th. This is a province-wide movement for a fire-safe Ontario. Fire officials want you to take the pledge and get educated on all things you need to know about smoke alarm safety. They also add you and your loved ones could be saved by the beep. It's a local Canadian success story. Northern Reflections, a popular brand in women's apparel, was founded in Guelph in 1985. As the company marks its 40th anniversary, it brought the celebrations to where it all began.
We've still stayed true to our roots,
and who Northern Reflections is. So I'm very proud of that. I think our customers trust us, and I think that's the reason they keep coming back. And I hear from so many ladies even today, I don't know where I'd shop if I didn't have Northern Reflections. So I think they've continued to trust us over the years for our quality, our great customer experience, and just for the great colors and products we offer.
We create our product in-house. We develop our product with Canadiana in mind. Northern Reflections is a heritage brand, and we're extremely proud of that Canadian background. And we would love for them to shop Canadian. Our products are well made and extremely accessible. We're not fast fashion, but we definitely hit the mark on some great casual styling.
Our collections that are easy mix and match, our associates who really do know most of these customers in every store by name and create relationships with them.
I think it's our customer experience. I mean, the service our employees provide is so consistent, and it's consistent right across Canada. And then further to that, we've got some edge in our product these days. We've moved from, kittens and puppies to some great aesthetic product. So I feel that our customers think twice about what they want to buy and shop for, and they're guaranteed quality, but definitely exceptional customer service.
When we started planning this anniversary in general, this store was obviously the first one we thought of to celebrate where it all began in 1985, and how unique to have everybody travel. A lot of people are all across Ontario that have came today to celebrate with us. We even have a customer here who drove all the way from Parry Sound. So I think it's, although this is happening across all of Canada, I think going back to where it originally all began feels very nostalgic, along with our collections here in the hallway that speak to the last 40 years and how proud we all are to be working for this company.
I have to say we're definitely multi-generational, and that's really important. So in this landscape, we're looking for new and existing experiences for our customers.
The Kitchener Rangers have unveiled upgrades to the Odd that happened during the off-season. The team hosted a guided tour showing off the newly renovated space.
The changing landscape that's gone on in the last year or so within the hockey world made us realize that for player recruitment, player retention, we had to do this. We had to control that of what we could control, which were certainly some significant renovations, but this is all about player experience and ensuring that we get the very best players here when we draft them. And then once they're here, they don't want to leave. And so that was the motivator behind this.
A multi-purpose recreation complex in Cambridge has received a multi-million-dollar investment from the province. Ontario is committing $19.5 million from the Community Sport and Recreation Infrastructure Fund.
It's great to be here today with the Minister Lubston and Mayor Leggett to announce a $1 million funding for the Ayr Community Centre, $1 million for the Cambridge Preston Arena, and $19.5 million for the new Cambridge Recreation Complex. It's wonderful to see our government making meaningful investments in recreation infrastructure across both North Dumfries and Cambridge. I'm also excited to follow the progress of the new Cambridge Recreation Complex through the Community Sports and Recreation Infrastructure Fund. We're not just building facilities, we're enhancing the quality of life for the residents here in Cambridge. These investments will help ensure our community have safe, modern spaces to come together, stay active, and strengthen the connections that make our community so special.
But today we're celebrating a milestone that we thought would never get here. How many years have we been at this? We've been at it seems forever. So when I drove down the street and I saw how the building actually was there, I thought, yes, I can actually touch it. It is real. We're getting to the end of this. But it's thanks to the support of the ministry that we are receiving the $19.5 million for this new rec complex and $1 million for the expansion of the Preston Memorial Auditorium. through that Community Sport and Recreation Infrastructure Fund.
The OHL is welcoming the Greater Ontario Junior Hockey League as its first official development league.
We've had a great relationship over the past number of years, and as we've developed players, it's become more meaningful to get something more documented, I guess, and more of a commercial agreement together. It does help build our league as far as some finances go. There's no question about that, but those finances then allow us to create a better environment for those players. It provides a direct pathway for these players to be able to move up and down a little bit more. Certainly going to be flexible as to the ability for a player from the London Knights to play in the London Nationals and certainly more freely move up and down. In general, it's going to affect the 16 and 17-year-old the most. You're going to see those first rounders, but we're already seeing second rounders in our league this year now with this new situation. And thirds were before they would probably, the OHL may keep those players and develop them there on their own a little bit. They're now, they're going to put them with us and let them develop. We have a profile game all the time that we put our prospects in, the top players, the 16, 17-year-olds. And those we do play in a tournament called the McPherson Tournament. It was pretty horrific for a lot of these players getting recognized. And that team out of that now will probably combine something into this McDavid situation. So it'll give those players even more dramatic, highlight of their abilities. We definitely want to provide that player the opportunity to be successful, and I think Ontario needs that, and that's what makes me most excited about the situation.
September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, a time dedicated to raising awareness about the challenges faced by children with cancer. A Moorefield mother has turned a passion project into a charity to help other families with children also living with cancer.
So Kian, the start was pretty rough, and then the last few years he's had the normal sort of hiccups like every other kid along the way, needing blood transfusions, random hospital days for fever and neutropenia, and he's had an NG tube the whole time for treatment because he didn't want to take his chemo. With his type of leukemia, you do chemo every night at bedtime for the last year and a half. So it was really important that we got that in. So then we ended up with the NG tube for the last, since he started treatment, he got it the very first week he started treatment. But now he just rang the bell at the start of September and his journey has come to an end. So yeah. When he first got his first tube, the hospital is great and gives you one tubey bag, but you don't want to be greedy and keep asking for more, but so they get gross. Or the one at the hospital had a safety pin in. It made him a little nervous just because of all the needles you kind of go through at the start. I was telling my mom about them and that I needed more, so she made a few. And then Keen loved it, so we started making more for him to have. And then some other people at the hospital noticed them and asked us where we got them. And then we were telling people that we were making them, which then kind of snowballed into now To Be Tough. And we started making them and donating them to McMaster. Now we also donate them to Grand River. And we've been donating them to the Sears Cancer Clinic at Sick Kids. It's just kind of snowballed into something that we did for Kian, now into something for lots of kids. Having the tubey bag makes the tubey less scary because it's secured. They're not worried about it getting pulled out, and then they get to pick it. So it's a bag that they get to choose. It's something that they connect with, because when they have cancer, all of their choices are pretty much taken away. They're constantly told what to do, but now with the tubey, it gives them that little bit of autonomy back that has all been taken away. So right now we are doing Ontario, and then the goal is now to start going across Canada with them and keep it going. It feels, seeing the impact it's had on some kids, and then seeing Kian be so excited when we see other kids out or at the hospital with the tubey bags, it feels so wrong to stop just because Kian's done and doesn't technically need them anymore. It's like this need that we saw and are fulfilling, and it feels so wrong to just stop when there's so many other kids. It's not even just cancer kids that can use them.
Thanks for watching this edition of Rogers TV Community News. I'm Carla Fitzsimmons, and enjoy the rest of your day.